celebration. Hometown games are gone by sunny days in the car. Give a ride with the salad and Hollywood star. She goes on and on, on and on and on and on. She goes on and on, on and on and on. I said, boy, you better check your eyes. Though you see something you don't like. I'm shining on your mama, but she's bad, 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 and I wanna. I'm trying to be your survivor. I was the bad, bad, bad on the level. I'm trying. We got a couple more tunes for you. I'm gonna do one of mine. It's called Such a Shame. Whenever you wanna say you're the lead, you be used to say as a weapon, and you're trying to blame God for your violence. Blood is on your hands. Now here's a few sorry for you. Despite the things that you do. Cause you never know love, you'll never know grace. Cause you don't see the world like you should. It's such a shame. Yeah, we will all hurt, yeah, we will all break. But life is beautiful, but you're blind. Such a shame. See the lost today, all the wreckage at your masquerade. Something sacred, I don't believe the pain trying to give us is ever equal to the power of our love. I feel sorry for you, despite the things that you do. Cause you'll never know love, you'll never know grace. You don't see the world like you should. It's such a shame. Yeah, we will all hurt, yeah, we will all break. But life is beautiful, but you're right. It's such a shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Oh, shame, shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Ooh, such a shame. stay. It will all hurt. It will not break. But life is beautiful. But you're right. Such a shame. Baby, such a shame. I'm kinda nervous, so ambitious. The new Elvis gonna be a star. When I was singing, pay no attention. Too busy dreaming of a girl at the bar. Ribbons bell, keep on ringing. Ribbons bell, keep on ringing. Keep on ringing. That bell, so I said another one fell. Another one fell. Send the border, so I ordered another border go down in the well. Learn a lesson, so they said it when she's pressing ring on and bell. Another one fell. She was a modern Captain Hepburn. Every head's gonna be a star. Competition, annihilation. My new mission, not to fall apart.
Wow, welcome back. Let's give another round of applause for our students and the talent they have here. Incredible. I may have gotten a goosebump or two. And while we're at it still, I want to thank a band that was here today, the Mark Gibson Band, who set the tone. Mark Gibson is actually a 2000 grad from Broken Arrow and former state champion runner-up wrestler, and so we love when our alumni come back. So let's give a round of applause specifically to the Mark Gibson Band. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chuck Perry, Superintendent of Schools, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you back to the 25-26 edition of our Back to School Kickoff. For the second year in a row, we're able to gather every single Broken Arrow employee under one roof. Look around. There are almost roughly 2,600 dedicated individuals here today. Each one of them plays a vital role in the lives of our students and in the success of our community. This is our family. This is our house. My hope is that you leave here energized, inspired, and ready to make a difference. Our theme for the year is Share Our Story, and I couldn't think of a more meaningful message for this moment in time. Share Our Story is a reminder that what we do each day, big or small, has the power to inspire others. It's about celebrating the moments in our classrooms, cafeterias, buses, and buildings that reflect the heart of who we are. It's about owning our narrative and showing the world what it truly means to be a part of Broken Arrow, even in the midst of challenges and all the noise surrounding public education. Now, I ask you to please stand if you're able and join me in saluting the flag as students from the Broken Arrow High School JROTC present the colors, followed by the national anthem performed by high school junior Evangeline King.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner
Thank you. You may be seated. Evangeline King. Wow. She hit that high note. Impressive. Before we dive in, I want you to know we heard your feedback from last year. Today's event will be shorter and more focused. But still, it's going to be full of fun and celebration. Let me cover a few quick housekeeping details that may be important to you. If you need them, restrooms are located at the back of the event center on the first floor in that corner and on the second floor up in that corner. If you did not get your shirt, you can pick it up at the end of the event. And when you exit the building, both entrances can be used, and we also have a surprise waiting for you as you leave. Now, as I mentioned earlier, each year we select a district-wide theme that helps unite and inspire us throughout the school year. This year, our theme is Share Our Story, and it's a powerful reminder of the impact each of us has, both individually and collectively. If you'll turn your attention back to the screen above, our AeroVision team has put together a special video that's sure to remind you on why it's so special to be a Broken Arrow Tiger.
Each new school year brings more than a fresh start. It brings opportunity to shape lives, to build trust, and to make an impact that lasts far beyond the classroom. Here in Broken Arrow, we know that education isn't just what happens in textbooks or test scores. It's found in the moments, the conversations, the breakthroughs, the quiet support that helps a student keep going. Whether you drive a bus, teach a lesson, prepare a meal, coach a team, or keep our schools running, you are part of something bigger.
When the morning breaks, we won't hesitate. It's the first day, it's the first page. Our story starts here. Our story starts here.
Students find their voice in music, on the field, through leadership, service, and innovation. They challenge themselves, chase big ideas, and discover what they're truly capable of. And they don't do it alone. You help create the conditions where students feel safe, supported, and seen. That's where real learning begins, and our families know it. Remember, we passed the 2023 bond issue with 80% support from our community, which means they believe in what you are doing. We're not just working in a school system. We're building a future together. And in today's world, that matters more than ever. This year, we have a chance to change the story being told about public education, to shift the conversation from doubt to belief, from frustration to pride, to remind our communities and ourselves of the power we hold when we show up with purpose.
Let's make our story visible. Let's highlight our everyday wins. Let's celebrate our quiet heroes, our small victories, and our big breakthroughs. Let's do a great job of telling our story of what's really happening in our schools each and every day.
It's the first day, yeah, it's the first page. Our story starts here.
Because when we share our story, we elevate our mission. We remind others and ourselves why this work matters, and we invite everyone to be a part of it. This is our year to lead with passion, to build with purpose, to share with pride the real story of public education in Broken Arrow. This is our story, one of tradition and transformation, of pride and progress, of excellence and heart. And now, we invite you to help us tell it. Let's tell it well.
Our story starts right.
And always remember, in Broken Arrow, the best is yet to come.
How about that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's give a big round of applause again to our talented AeroVision team for their creativity. They did such a great job of capturing the heart of our story so well, and I encourage you to share that once that's released today on social media so that our message is heard throughout the state and the country. Whether you're starting your second year or your 32nd year, I want to sincerely thank you for your ongoing commitment to Broken Arrow Public Schools and our students. And to those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. Thank you for choosing to be a part of our mission. We hope this becomes your forever home. There's no doubt in my mind that the very best educators, staff, and leaders are sitting in this room right now. I'm honored, truly honored, to work alongside you as we share our story together. And speaking of the best, I want to take a moment to recognize 5 incredible individuals who you'll all be especially thankful for this semester. Our Broken Arrow Board of Education, which includes Mr. Steve Allen, President, Vice President John Cockrell, and with us today, if they'll stand and step here to the side of the stage, Clerk Dr. Brandy Roulette, Deputy Clerk Debbie Taylor, and Member Dr. Kate Williams. Earlier this summer, our administrative team presented the board with several options for providing stipends to our dedicated staff. Without hesitation, each board member expressed a desire to do as much as possible, not only for our returning employees, but again, for those of you are brand new to the BA family. Thanks to their leadership and support, I'm proud to announce that we will be providing a one-time stipend for all returning employees in August and a Christmas stipend in December for every employee, whether you're new to the district or not. These stipends are more than just financial gestures. They are a direct reflection of the board's belief in all of you here today. They recognize your dedication, the challenges you face, and the heart you bring to the role each day. Their message is clear: you matter. You are appreciated, and you are a vital part of what makes this district so special. And now, please help me welcome to the stage Dr. Brandy Roulette, Board of Education Clerk, and also a BA grad, who will share a few words of encouragement as we begin the new school year.
Hi, good afternoon, Broken Arrow family. It's a joy to be here with you guys today as we begin this new year. Sorry, I feel like I'm so short. But I just want to say on behalf of the Board of Education, thank you. Thank you for choosing Broken Arrow. Thank you for showing up every day with passion and creativity. And thank you for your commitment to our students and to one another. So as he mentioned stipends, when we talk about stipends, what we're really talking about is how much we value you. You're the heartbeat of our district. Whether you teach, serve, drive, support, whatever your role, it matters to the district. So we know the days aren't always easy, but the difference you make to our students and to our community is lasting. So I just want you to know that we see you, we appreciate you, and we're with you every step of the way. So here's to another year filled with purpose, connection, and celebration. Let's make it a good one, or let's make it a great one. How about that? Thank you, and let's have a fantastic year.
Thank you, Dr. Roulette, and again to all Board of Education members. I am so grateful that we have a supportive board, but we also have a supportive community. Throughout the morning, we'll be giving away some fantastic prizes thanks to the generosity of our amazing community partners. This year, we're trying to speed things up a bit, and we've pre-selected all winners for many giveaways we have today. We used a random generator based on a complete list of employees provided by HR. So yes, everyone had a fair shot. And if your name appears on the screen, you are a winner. Stand up and wave so we can cheer for you, and then following today's program, you'll head up to the Varsity Club, which is located above me, to retrieve your prize. So what do you say? Let's get started with some prizes and giveaways. The first giveaway is courtesy of our friends at Quick Trip, who are giving away gift cards valued at $50, $100, and a grand prize of $250. We have several slides to show you. Let's get the $50 ones up there. We got it. All right. If you're a winner, stand up. $100 gift card winners. Here we go, $100. And now for the grand prize, $250 gift card winner. Congratulations to all of our winners, and remember to claim your prize up in the Varsity Club at the end of our program. And if you've been for us a while, you know that one of our favorite kickoff traditions is handing out brand new t-shirts to every employee. Thanks again to the incredible partners at Quick Trip. We hope you had a chance to grab yours before you took your seats. If not, don't worry, our team will be manning the t-shirt tables again after the event, so you can pick up your shirt, or give us your name and shirt size if we run out of a certain size. And please remember, only one shirt per person. And while we're talking about the shirts, let's bring the lights up a moment. I need everyone to hold up your QT t-shirt for me, and let's take a quick photo so we can thank Quick Trip for their generosity. Sean, would you mind snapping a quick photo for all of us? Wow. Keep holding them up. Keep holding them up. You all look good. All right, thank you. Thank you, Quick Trip. Now, if you'll turn your attention to the screen, I'd like to recognize two special employees. Our 2025 District Teacher of the Year, Amanda Hunley, and Support Employee of the Year, Mickey Wyatt.
Being where we both teach, it brings us closer together. We both understand all the struggles, but we also inspire each other, and so she truly makes me a better educator. Not only is she constantly working with her kids, she's relationship driven, she truly loves the kids that she works with, but she loves the people she works with, and she engages with her parents on a daily basis.
Every single thing she does is, she doesn't have to, she wants to. And it just goes to show you that she truly loves Broken Arrow. She loves athletics. She wants our coaches and our kids to be successful. Everything she does is excellence in all that we do. That's our saying. And Mickey embodies that every single day.
She goes beyond what her job description is. On a Friday night, you'll see her on the sidelines helping with the game changers, helping with the activations that we do on the field. She just gives of herself and helps however she can to make athletics as incredible as it is at BA. She's a big part of what we do.
I know that she's going to use that platform to build hope, to build positive energy in our profession, especially in a time when things are really difficult and this level of scrutiny is super high. She would be the most incredible spokesperson for education.
We are incredibly lucky to have such wonderful leaders within our school community. If Mickey Wyatt is in the house, and I believe she is, can you please stand so we can give you a round of applause for all that you do, BA Schools. And now I'd like to invite our current Teacher of the Year, Miss Amanda Hundley, to the stage to say a few words of encouragement as we start into a new school year.
Hi, friends. As we gather here today, ready to embark on a new school year, I'm reminded of the profound impact we have on the lives of our students and the immeasurable value of our profession. Our journey as educators is one of choice, and being an educator is not always an easy choice to make. Every day, we choose to be in BA, to be present, to be passionate, to be the change we want to see in our students' lives and our own. I'm reminded of a trip to Walmart a few summers ago. When checking out, the young cashier asked me about my summer. I said, "It's great, I'm a teacher." His face lit up as he told me that he had just graduated high school and planned to start college in the fall to become a teacher. I congratulated him and told him how excited I was for him. His face then changed as he told me that his friends and his family didn't understand why he wanted to be a teacher. He said that he was nervous because of all the noise surrounding education. I nodded in agreement, but then asked him why he wanted to be a teacher. He paused for a bit and then said, "I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was in high school. But then I had a history teacher whose passion for history was infectious. He made me love history, and now I want to be that person for someone else." At the end of our conversation, I left this young man with the advice to hold on to that feeling, to hold on to that purpose and passion, because the difference he will make is worthwhile and fulfilling. He was right, though. The world of education, like our world at large, is filled with noise. But we have the power to choose the song that we sing. And oftentimes, the most powerful melodies emerge from the loudest noises, from those make or break moments when purpose and light seem distant. 2 years ago, on the day of our school kickoff, my school family woke up to the heartbreaking news of the loss of one of our school family members. I remember that day vividly. The struggle to get ready, the heaviness in our hearts as we enter the building. I remember naturally gravitating down to the purple pod, because that was her pod. One by one, we gathered, and what started with tears and hugs that you didn't want to let go of ended with stories and laughter and joy. Through that storm and all that noise, she was still our light. Her love spread through us like wildfire, and we made a pact that that year would be for her. That, to me, is what it means to be in BA. It means coming together in times of joy and sorrow. It means supporting each other, lifting each other up, and carrying on the legacy of those who've touched our lives. Every person that walks through our door, be it student, parent, or educator, is bringing their own noise, their own storms, and we have the opportunity to sing a song of light that shines through it. And by doing so, we can create a ripple effect of rainbows, transforming fear, anxiety, and loss into love, confidence, and legacies. This transformative power reminds me of one of my teaching heroes, Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. Her catchphrase, "Take chances, make mistakes, and get messy," encapsulates the resilient spirit at the heart of education. So as we embark on this new year in BA, I challenge you to choose to be bold, to fail forward, and to embrace the joyful chaos of discovery and play. Let's make this a year of creating rainbows, changing lives, and truly embodying the essence of what it means to be in BA.
Thank you, Ms. Hunley. Now, if you'll please turn your attention to the video board, we'd like to share a message from one of our longtime partners, TTCU Federal Credit Union.
Hey BA Tiger fans, now's the time to show your school spirit. Support your favorite school with the Broken Arrow School Pride debit card from TTCU Federal Credit Union, the only card that gives back to Broken Arrow every time you use it.
Since the program began, TTCU has donated over $350,000 to Broken Arrow Public Schools. That's a lot of support from fans just like you.
Whether you're a student, parent, or a proud Tiger fan, your everyday purchases can make a difference.
With TTCU, you're not just banking, you're backing your school and local community. Join the thousands of TTCU members who are already using the Broken Arrow card.
It's super simple. Use your BA card and TTCU donates.
Now for the exciting part. Ready to cash in on something big? For the first time ever, TTCU is offering 2 exclusive promotions just for school employees, like us.
Is your checking account with TTCU? If not, get a $350 bonus when you open a new TTCU checking account with direct deposit. But wait, there's more. If you're new to TTCU, you'll get another $50 when you open a new savings account.
That's up to $400 in your pocket. Plus, every time you use your card, you're backing Broken Arrow.
So who can get these exclusive offers? This is for everyone. Teachers, coaches, bus drivers, custodians, even our amazing superintendent, Mr. Perry.
After today's event, run, don't walk, to the TTCU table to learn more. A special promo code is required, so be sure to grab more information before you leave today.
These offers won't last forever, so don't delay.
Thank you, TTCU, and thank you, Tiger fans. Support our school with every purchase. Go Yay!
And with that, TTCU is proud to present for the first half of this year a $20,000 donation from people just like you using your card.
I asked them next year if they could bring a bigger check. Thank you, Rosie, and big thank you to TTCU on a serious note for your continued partnership and support of Broken Arrow Public Schools. $20,000. Wow, we're moved by that. As we start another school year, it's refreshing to be surrounded by so much positive energy in this room. When I look out at you all, I see hope. You're not selling widgets. Your success isn't measured by a profit and loss statement. It's measured by the seeds you plant in the lives of the students, hour by hour, day by day, and moment by moment. The seed sowing shows up in the smallest actions: a good morning from a bus driver, a front desk receptionist saying, "Welcome back, we missed you," or a teacher smiles as a student walks through the door. It's in the meals prepared, the facilities fixed, and the technology that keeps us connected. These moments matter. And I'd argue they matter now more than ever before. The thing about seeds is that not all of them grow the same way. A maple tree sprouts fast and shows its colors early. A redwood takes years to even break through the soil, but eventually it becomes one of the tallest living things on earth. You may not always get to see the full growth of what you planted, but plant anyway. Every seed matters. I've heard it said before, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. But planting is hard work. It takes an enormous amount of energy. How do we keep ourselves going so that we can keep showing up for others? We dig deep. We look for reasons to laugh. And yes, I'm talking about laughing. We find joy on purpose. This work is heavy, and the weight of the world is walking into our classrooms every day. Our students are carrying things many of us never had to carry at their age. So be the hope they need, but do not take on the role of fixing everything. Don't carry it all. You are not meant to. Do what you can, then breathe, talk to someone, celebrate the good things, connect, engage, and again, I'm going to say laugh. That is the only way you can stay prepared to be the blessing you are called to be for the students and staff around you. Because every seed you plant becomes a part of a bigger story, our story. And this year, we get to share our story one moment, one student, one seed at a time. And now, speaking of making a positive, long-lasting impact, if you'll please turn your attention to the screen, we have a video message from our Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation about their upcoming grant opportunity for teachers.
Hi teachers, it's that time of year again. I'm Charla Lane, the Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation president, and this is Leslie Purcell, our grant chair, and we're here with an important annual reminder.
The Broken Arrow Public School Foundation's teacher grant application is now open, and we're ready to help bring your creative classroom ideas to life.
If you've got an innovative lesson plan, a project that needs equipment, or an out-of-the-box learning experience that kids will never forget, this is your chance.
Last year, we funded 47 projects across the district, and we're excited to support even more this year.
Visit bapsfoundation.org to learn more about the grant guidelines and submit your application. But don't wait. The deadline is Monday, October 20th. Thank you for always striving to give our students the best education possible.
Know that the Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation is here to encourage you in that mission.
This is an awesome opportunity for our teachers, and I encourage each of you to think about that and make that decision to be a part of it. Now, how do we feel about some more giveaways? Our foundation is graciously providing $50 in cash to several of you sitting in the audience today. Take a look at the screen above if you're one of the lucky winners. But wait, there's more. Next up, we have a $50 Amazon gift card from Tinker Federal Credit Union. Congratulations to all of today's winners. And remember, prizes can be collected in the Varsity Club after the event. Now, for the final portion of this program, I'd like to introduce a truly inspiring individual to the stage. Alton Carter is a former foster child who became the first person in his family to graduate from both high school and college. A proud alumnus of Oklahoma State University, he has dedicated his life to encouraging others to turn their life experience into purpose. Today, Alton serves as the training manager for Air Hygiene International right here in Broken Arrow. He is also an award-winning author, best known for his powerful debut book, The Boy Who Carried Bricks, which won the 2016 Oklahoma Book Award. Since then, Alton has published several more titles, including Aging It Out, The Boy Who Dreamed Big, The Boy Who Went to the Library, The Boy Who Survived, and most recently, a children's book titled Different Altogether. Alton lives in Stillwater with his wife, Kristen, and their 5 children, Kelton, Colin, Aaliyah, Angelina, and Curtis. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Alton Carter.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I'll like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move.
I gotta address the picture of the kids touching the top of my head. I made the mistake of taking my oldest boy with me one time to speak, and he sat in the back. This is Kelton. And whenever we showed that picture, he was like, "Dad, I know why those kids were touching your head." And I was like, "You know, it's because I'm an author." He was like, "No, it's because your head looked like a milk dud." So I no longer take Mr. Kelton with me to public speaking. And the next thing I want to address is that picture with me with that huge gap in my front teeth. Why y'all laughing? I look like buckwheat on crack, that's what I think. So anyway, specifically, that picture is very meaningful to me because it was at that very moment that a 4th grade teacher changed my life. That I felt like the world had thrown me away, so 17 foster homes, 3 institutions, and a boys ranch, because my mother cared more about prescription drugs than she did her 5 children. And so we were the kids, we went to school and we struggled. I mean, roaches, Mom took us to the doctor to get roaches taken out of our ears. We had been beat with belts, extension cord broomsticks, and we were a mess. And the crazy thing is I put every bit of that pain and suffering on my back, and I came to school and I gave it to people just like you. And truth is, it's not that that's what I wanted to do. That's all I had inside of me. And so we were a mess. And I remember about 8 years old, one time we were walking home from school, and this car pulled up, and it was our caseworker, and she said, "Alton, I need you and your siblings to get in the car." So Mom had 5 kids. So we get in the car, and she takes us to the Payne County Youth Shelter, and that's where we were going to stay for the night. So we get to the Payne County Youth Shelter, and here's what I thought to myself. At the age of 8 years old, this is the first time in my life I'm going to sleep in a bed by myself. At the end of the next day, I remember thinking, this is the first time in my life that I'm going to eat 3 meals in one day. So we spent a few days at the Payne County Youth Shelter, and we get sent to court. And so this is where we find out the fate of what's going to happen with Mom. So we're standing there like behind our caseworker, and Mom's over here with her court-appointed attorney, and they do some discussions, and all of a sudden, I hear this, "Glendola Vick," that's my mom's name, "you are unfit to be a mother, and you can no longer have your 5 children." And I remember watching them drag this woman out of the courtroom, kicking and screaming and just upset. And the next 2 things I said to myself that an 8-year-old kid should never have to say out in the hallway. I said, "You did this, Mom. You did this because you chose men and drugs over your 5 children. The next thing I said to myself was, never in a million years will a judge ever tell me I'm unfit to be a father. And see, that's been my dream. My whole entire life is to be somebody my kids wasn't afraid of, that my wife could respect. You know, the crazy thing is I never learned a single stinking thing about being a parent at home. In all the 17 foster homes, I got this mixed message of what life should look like, and in reality, every valuable thing I learned about being a parent came from people like you. So I want to start off like I was a mess. So I made it through the system, right? Had written this book. It started doing crazy things, and my wife and I decided one time we were going to do this garage sale. So I do this garage sale, and I remember way back earlier, I had a gymnastics gym that said Alton's World, and so we were selling all the leftover t-shirts. So we're selling the t-shirts, and I remember this lady came up, and she's with a couple of her friends, and they're having this conversation, they're talking, and she picks up one of the t-shirts, and she says, I knew an Alton in elementary school. And in my mind, I'm freaking out because there's like 15 people in this garage sale, and I knew what I was like, so I was like, hey, ma'am, hey. I'm right here. And she said, Alton, do you remember me? And I said, no, I don't remember you. And she said, remember, I was the cafeteria lady. She said, when y'all came to school, I hear you. When y'all came to school, y'all were late. Every day y'all were late for school. In fact, back then, the gym was the cafeteria, so they would fold the chairs up against, or the desk up against the wall, and we would do PE in there. And she said, every time y'all came to school, you were late. All the kids were gone, and here's the one thing I remember. She said, we always had 5 trays for you and your siblings to eat. And before she finished the story, I said, I remember you now because every morning I sat on your lap and I ate my breakfast and I felt like I mattered. See, I was a train wreck. And we were taught this weird thing that we were supposed to keep people at arm's distance. And so we are shuffled through the system, and literally 17 foster homes, 3 institutions, and a boys ranch, and I spent about a year and a half at my grandparents' house that was extremely dysfunctional. So there was my grandmother, my grandfather, my Uncle Billy, my Uncle David, my Uncle Stevie, my 2 cousins, Mario and Martina, all living in this 3-bed house. And so my grandfather was one of those people that, like today, I look back and I have no idea why this man stayed around taking care of a family that didn't appreciate him. My grandmother was the family enabler, so she made excuses for everything that everybody did. My Uncle Billy was an abusive drug dealer. My Uncle Stevie was an alcoholic, and my Uncle David was another alcoholic. And see, the crazy thing about my Uncle Stevie, and I'm telling you this story just because we never know what people are going through. See, some of us take all this pain and suffering and shame and we tuck it deep down inside of us, and a lot of these kids come to school every day and all we see is the way they react. And so that was part of my story. So my Uncle Stevie figured out that he could make money off of 5 kids or 7 kids that weren't his. So he'd load us up in the car, drive us out in the middle of Stillwater, and he would park his car alongside of a busy street and make it look like he had run out of gas. And so whenever cars would stop, he'd say, okay, Alton, when this car stops, I need you to tell them that we ran out of gas. So sure enough, that's what we would do. And he would get money, and they would give him money, and he would take the money. And my Uncle Stevie was using this to buy whiskey. And then he would load us up into the car, take us home, set us down on the couch. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, for whatever reason, he was making us drink his whiskey. And I'd go to school again, all my pain and suffering on my back. And I remember I made it to about the 4th grade dealing with all this stuff, and this one teacher who had rules for everything. Anybody ever have one of them? If you didn't have one, you might be that teacher, I'm just saying. But this teacher had rules for everything, like how many breaths you could take in class, how many times you could, sharpen your pencil. And so she had rules for everything, and the principal thought it would be a great idea to put Alton in this strict teacher's class. Well, you know how that went. So I broke every rule she ever had. I mean, I was the most disrespectful kid. If she told me to sit down, I would stand up. If she told me to stand up, I would sit down. And one day she had had enough, and she snapped and she grabbed me by my wrist. She dragged me out in the hallway, slammed me down in a chair, and in front of everybody she said, "I can't stand you, Alton, get out of my class." And I remember thinking to myself, you're just like everybody else in my family. What happened next is the reason why I'm standing up here on stage today. My fourth grade teacher. This other teacher across the hallway, her name was Brenda Thompson, saw this whole thing play out. She got out of her classroom, came out in the hallway, scooped me up in her arms, took me to the front of the class and set me by her desk. And the rest of the year, that lady treated me better than anyone had ever treated me in my entire life. She didn't call me names. She didn't make me feel stupid. She didn't talk about how horrible my family was. That lady gave me her heart and soul. And you would have thought that after all the effort she did, I would have treated her with respect. But I gave her the only thing I had inside of me, not on purpose, but I didn't know what love was. I was a youth director at a church for a while, and I remember taking my youth group to see this movie, Box Trolls. And so we load up 60 youth in Alton. We load up in the vans, and we go to the movie theater to see this Box Trolls. And it was at this movie that I figured out that I finally have a phrase that explained exactly how I felt all the way through school. So we're in the movie theater watching this movie, and all of a sudden you hear this phrase come out. It said, "Sometimes when a heart is broken, it grows back crooked." That's the way I felt. Unloved. And I tell you this story about Miss Thompson that I look at it differently. Because at the time, I had no idea this lady was giving me the biggest seed of hope I've ever had in my entire life. So remember I told you she scooped me up. She took me into her classroom and she set me down by her desk. She didn't scoop me up. She grabbed my hand. But when I look back and replay that moment, she picked me up. She carried me to her classroom and set me down and treated me better than anyone had ever treated me in my entire life. In fact, Miss Thompson was the first person to teach me to value myself. So I ran away. My uncle tried to force me to drink whiskey. He ended up hurting me. I called the cops. I run away from my grandparents' house. I spend the night at the shelter. I get sent to a couple of foster homes, and I end up in the Oklahoma Lions Boys Ranch in Perkins, Oklahoma, and that's where I came up with the title, The Boy Who Carried Bricks. Extremely racist, abusive ranch dad that ruled with an iron fist. He had all these things that we were required to do. So if you ever got in trouble, let's say you didn't do your chores, he would make you carry bricks for 2 hours. So you'd pick up 5 bricks, you'd hold them like this, you'd walk 40 yards carrying those bricks, you'd set them down, you'd turn around, and you'd go back and you'd get 5 more. If you got a D in school, you ran 2 miles 3 days a week till your grades came up. If you got an F in school, you ran 5 days a week. If you got more than that, you ran 7 days a week. If we were out in a hayfield hauling hay, we would bear crawl on our hands and feet, sometimes 50 or 20 acres when our ranch dad got mad at us. And I never understood why my ranch dad did all these things. And again, that's not my focus. But in the middle of all that pain and suffering, I fell in love with an ag teacher named Roger Jennings. Now back then, ag teachers, I don't know if they all dipped and chewed, but this man had dip and chewing. You know what I'm talking about, like that guy that has so much chew in his mouth when he's talking, he's spitting and you're ducking, trying to make sure it doesn't land in your mouth. It's my ag teacher. See, Roger, for whatever reason, took a liking to me, and he would come to the boys' ranch, and we had the show, and he would help me pick out our animals. And then years later, so I fast forward, and I'm out traveling, speaking, and I get a phone call from this lady who tells me, hey, did you know that you're coming to my school and my dad is Roger Jennings and you're coming to talk to my class? Will you stop by? I'm like, well, heck yeah, I will. So I stopped by and see her class, and it was there she shared with me this story. She said, Alton, I don't know if you know this, but all throughout the 3 years you were at the Boys Ranch, every one of those shows that you went to, your entry fee was paid. And I said, yeah, I know. And she goes, you don't know this, but that was my dad. And so even in the midst of sometimes, like, we give our hearts and we share everything we have with somebody that's broken and we think it's falling on deaf ears and it's not even making a difference. And in reality, sometimes it takes a while for that seed to grow. So I run away from the Boys Ranch. They fire our ranch dad for child abuse. I go back to the Payne County Youth Shelter. I spent a couple of weeks there, a couple of months there. My caseworker shows up and said, hey, Alton, we found you a foster home back in Perkins. And so I'm all excited because if nothing else, I get to see Mr. Roger Jennings again. And I'll never forget, like, she loaded me up in the car, took me back to Perkins. We drive through town and we pulled up to this house. And out walks my ranch dad who had been fired for child abuse. So I spent 6 months there, left, and all the while Mr. Jennings was there. So I left, I got sent to a couple of foster homes. I ended up in Cushing, Oklahoma, where I found out that I was okay at sports and found another basketball coach that, like, one of the toughest guys ever held me accountable. And at the time, I didn't like this man. But let me tell you what was cool about this old school football/basketball coach. When I made a mistake, he let me have it. When I did something good, he let me have it. He let me know that I was worthy. Not in front of everybody, but he always found a time to tell me that I was worthy. He's the reason why I graduated from high school and became the first person in the history of our family to graduate from high school. So I graduate from high school, I go off to college, I drop out of college, I spend 3 years homeless in Stillwater, Oklahoma, because I had no place to go. And one day I remember I was eating bread out of a trash can. I remember digging this raisin bread out of the trash can and I was eating it, and this thought about being a dad popped into my head, and I said, never in a million years would a judge ever tell me I'm unfit to be a father. So I got jobs, did the best I could trying to make sense. I met my wife then, who I figured out, I hate to say this, guys, but this is when I figured out that women are 10 times more smarter than we are. So I remember Kristen, my wife, we were dating and she had a car and I obviously didn't have a car. And so I was smart enough, so I thought that if nothing else, that I would have her drop me off at this same apartment complex because I was homeless. So she would drop me off at this apartment complex and I would get out of the car and I'd run like I was running into an apartment and wait for her to leave, and then I'd go off wherever I was supposed to go. And then one day I'm thinking, I got to tell her, that I'm homeless. And I'll never forget this conversation. I said, hey, Kristen, I don't know if you know this, but I'm homeless. And she looked at me with that pitiful look and said, I know, stupid. Now, I'm telling you this story because sometimes in the midst of you loving somebody, instead of them accepting it, you know what happens? This is what pops into our head. You mean you know that I'm homeless? She already knew my life story. That I never met my dad, that my mom was a drug addict, and now that you know I'm homeless and you love me anyway. And see, sometimes we put up walls because it keeps us safe. We think it prevents us from rejection, when in reality, we're just trying to make sense of life. And I question, why in the world? So for whatever reason, this crazy woman stayed with me and we made it through it. And I'll never forget, my children, and I figured out my motivation. My motivation to be a good dad. I figured out what it takes to be a good dad. I figured out what it takes to be a good friend, a good parent, a good teacher, a good brother, a good sister. I have the answer. And see, most of us in reality, you know what we're doing? We're walking around trying to put our best foot forward, trying to make everybody think that we have our lives all together. You look on Facebook and you see all the things that make us look like life is great. And so let me ask you this. You ever meet somebody who they acted like they were perfect? Do you want to be anything like them? And we find ourselves doing that, right? We don't have any struggles. Life is great. And so this is why this is important. Kids don't expect you to be perfect. In fact, if you are portraying yourself as somebody that has no issues, you know what you're telling me? Alton, you can never be like me. I was full of issues. And I look back at Miss Thompson, and here's the first part of what makes a good teacher. It's not how smart you are. It's not how much you know. It's not the organization of your classroom. It's not how much money you have, what you dress. Miss Thompson saved my life because I remember as an adult looking back at that encounter when she said, "I'll take him." And I looked in this lady's eyes and I saw a reflection of myself. And for the first time in my life, it wasn't a kid that was a poor, black, dirty kid with a drug addict mother and no dad. And at that moment, there were parts of my life that healed because a teacher gave me a seed of hope. See, she didn't try to save me. And most of you, you're spinning your wheels trying to save a kid when it is absolutely impossible. In fact, it's not your job. Your job is to give a kid a seed of hope until they can save themselves, which means that if you're a first grade teacher, you love on Alton the best you can, and you hand him off to the second grade teacher. Now, I know if you had Alton, the second grade teacher, hate your guts, but you, second grade teacher, you love on Alton the best you could, and that's the beauty of why kids make it. Because they don't get that at home. And so your job is to run your leg in the relay. So I'm gonna go back to my personal story where I figured out what it takes to be a good dad. Now, when my wife got pregnant, that was like the greatest thing ever. Like I had already had this plan, and one of the stupidest things I ever did was I read this book called What to Expect While Expecting. I still, those little images, those drawings in that thing, I cannot get out of my mind. But I thought that's what good dads did. I went to every one of her doctor's appointments and asked the stupidest questions you ever heard in your entire life. But I thought that's what good dads did. Ultrasound. I love talking about this ultrasound. My goodness, when I had that first ultrasound, now remember, no male had ever been around for his kids in my family. So I get this ultrasound and they hand it to me, and I run around the doctor's office like I had lost my mind. My boy! I took the stupid thing home, laminated it, turned the whole thing black. I thought I killed the baby. The whole thing disappeared. But I thought that's what good dads did. Man, when Kelton was born, cussed out everybody on the way home. You know that first car ride? I had arthritis, probably from giving people the finger, I'm sure. Can't get too close. We lived in a 900 square foot house. I'm not kidding. We had 5 baby monitors in this little house. My mother-in-law had given me this rocking chair. And it sat in this little small living room, and I decided that I was going to change every diaper. I was going to do all the things. I was going to rock him to sleep. If he cried, I was going to get up and rock him to sleep every night. And so I did. Now, crying to me as a kid was a bad thing, so Kelton was not going to cry. So if he cried, I'd get up, run into the bedroom, I'd pick Kelton up, and I'd lay him on my chest, and I would rock him to sleep or in this rocking chair every night until he went to sleep. And see, this is the hardest part about telling this story, because it is at this moment when this little kid is up on my chest that I should have realized what was happening. But instead, all I thought about is all the failures, all the mistakes, all the horrible things I did to get it wrong, trying to be the world's greatest dad. So after I'd rock Kelton to sleep, I'd take him to bed and I'd lay him down, and Kelton hated clothes, but he would sleep square in the middle of my chest. So no clothes, he had his diaper on, I'd take my shirt off and Kelton would sleep. This is the way you can find us every night. And I remember I'd go to bed and I'd lay him down, and my wife would look at me, like give me that side eye, like she's not here to defend herself, so I'm gonna talk like her in a bad way, but she would say, if you let that boy sleep with us, he's gonna sleep with us till he's 17. She had no idea what she was talking about, because at 13, Kelton finally stopped sleeping with her. I'd rock Kelton to sleep every night. And as he laid on my chest, I should have been grateful for what I had in front of me, but all I thought about was all the horrible things I'd done wrong. All the mistakes that I'd made. All the issues. I didn't have a dad, so I was doubting every bit of that stuff. And this one particular night, I think Kelton was about 7, 8 months old, and he's laying in the middle of my chest, and I'm looking at him feeling like a piece of trash, and for whatever reason, I watched the sun come up. And so the window's back behind us, and the sun comes up over the window, and I don't know if this is what woke Kelton up or not, but the sun hit Kelton on the face. And my 7-month-old son lifted his head up and kissed me on the cheek and laid his head back down and went to sleep. That's when I figured out what it takes to be a good dad, a good mom, a good teacher, a good principal, a good bus driver, a good friend. You just got to be there. You just got to be present. You just got to open up your heart and love people the best you can, knowing that you're going to make mistakes. And it's crazy that sometimes it's at our brokenness that we can connect with people the most. Colin, I was a officer, so whenever Colin was born and he was old enough that, like, I remember walking in the house in my police uniform, and man, this kid, we called him Racket because he played on the pots and pans all night long. But I remember walking into the house when Colin was old enough, and he would throw those spoons up in the air. He would wrap his arms around my leg, and he would say something I never, ever got to say. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. And me being me, I'd shake him off, and I'd go out the back door and come back around, just let him get this other good leg. You just got to be there. You just got to be there. My motivation, and sometimes what happens is we lose our motivation of why we're teaching in the first place, because life happens. So I want you to spend a second and think about, what is the motivation? Remember why you teach. See, I'm convinced that my first grade or my fourth grade teacher that had all those rules, I think she became that way because she forgot why she taught. So I'm gonna tell you mine, my two motivations. It's 5 now, but I keep this story the same. Kelton Thomas Carter was my firstborn son. He was born on May 28th. He weighed 8 pounds, 12 ounces, 20.5 inches long, born at 3:31 p.m. Colin was born on May 8th. He weighed 8 pounds, 4 ounces, 20.5 inches long, born at 10:31 p.m. I watched my kids be born. I changed their diapers. I took them to school. I watched Clifford the big red dog till I lost my stinking mind. I'm telling you, I was the only dad at PTA. I did all that stuff. Scared. And then every once in a while, you'll have somebody come back and tell you that you made a difference. So I want to talk about Miss Thompson. So Miss Thompson, when my book won the Oklahoma Book Award, my church decided that they wanted to do another book signing. So we do this book signing, and at the back of the line is Miss Thompson, my fourth grade teacher. Now I'm excited to see her. I'd seen her a couple of times, and when I see her, I'm like, hey everybody, Miss Thompson's in the book. And she's excited, and I can see her smiling, and all of a sudden she takes off running from the back of the line to the front. And about halfway to me, she starts crying, and I have no idea what to do with this. And she's bawling by the time she's standing at the table. So I stood up and I wrapped my arms around Miss Thompson and I hugged her as tight as I could. And I sat down in a chair, and here's what she said. She goes, Alton, I read what you said about me. I read what you said in the book. She goes, I'm shocked because I had no idea. I had no idea you felt that way about me. It broke my heart that I'd never told her. And in fact, that's what happens. That a lot of times these kids break the odds. They go on and become things that they never dreamed of because of you. So I wanted to change. I got distracted by that duck call. I don't know if y'all heard that. Sorry about that. I'm telling you, ADHD comes in handy sometimes. But anyway, so I decided that I wanted to tell her that I appreciate her. So while I'm telling this story, Corey Schultz, where is Corey Schultz? I know she's in here somewhere. Where is Corey? Corey, get up here. So I am doing this talk, and after the talk, this gentleman came up to me and he said, hey, Alton. He goes, I want to show you something. His name was Gordon Sloggett, which happens to be Corey's grandpa. He said, I want to show you something. So book was out, I was doing a book talk, and what was crazy is that he said, come with me, I want to show you something. So I go, we're fixing to do the grapevine, are you ready? I'm just kidding. So I want to show you something. So we go, I jump in his car, drive to his house, and we stop on the front porch. We stop. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I stop and I look down, and her grandpa, years ago, wanted to make sure that no other kid ever carried bricks. He was the one that got the ranch that had fired. I didn't know that. But he purchased every one of those bricks and took them home, and I was now standing on these bricks that were a patio, and I'm bawling. And when I leave, he picks one up and hands it to me, and I take it. A few days later, I go back and I go get a brick, and I give it to Miss Thompson, and I washed it off and I signed it. In it, she has a brick on her desk that says, from the boy who carried bricks, thanks for lightening the load. And so don't go anywhere because I have something for you. I just wanted you to get up here and be embarrassed. So before I do that, I want to do something special. So the company that I work for myself, we wanted to at least show some sort of appreciation for what you do, right, for teachers. So what I'm going to give you first is I'm going to give you a copy of my new children's book, different altogether. And not only am I going to give you a children's book, but I am donating you a whole class set for every one of your kids to have. And then I'm hoping you'll let me come visit. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they'll love that.
Okay, so don't go nowhere, though. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so we wanted to show, another way we wanted to show our appreciation is we wanted to, so I called and asked, I said, hey, Chuck, we want to give a small monetary thing away to some teachers, so give me 2 of your best teachers. You know what they said? We can't pick. We can't pick. That's not fair. So Swanson, come on up. One of the owners of the company is going to come up, and we're going to present. We wanted to give just a small donation to 2 of the teachers. There they are, Swanson. Y'all can wave at Swanson. Uh-oh. So we're going to give 2 checks, and originally we thought, oh, you're going to use this for school supplies, but you can use this money for whatever you want. So the first one we have up is Amisha Wagner. Where you at? So Amisha Wagner, come on up. So Amisha, Swanson's presenting you a check for $250 to use to whatever you want. Thank you. So go ahead and say, let's do what we're going to do. The other one, it is, I got to look at the name. It's going to be Karen Heath, and I know she's not here, and I think we have a representative that's going to receive the check for Karen Heath. Oh. So, and I'm also going to give you a copy of the children's book. All righty, y'all give them a round of applause. All right, don't go nowhere, Swanson. All right, thank y'all very much. Yeah, you get to stay here, Swanson. Y'all want to stay? Go ahead and stay up here. Might as well. So the last thing I want to do is I have a special presentation to Broken Arrow Public Schools that I'm going to give to Chuck Perry. Never done this before, but let me tell you something. So I started getting involved with Broken Arrow Public Schools, and first of all, Aspen Creek Early Childhood Center, where you at? You know these crazy people let me come open car doors for kids in the morning? They let me come read children's books, and this is why this is important. And I'm pretty sure y'all can relate to this, that sometimes when you're empty, you need to be refilled, and that's where I go. That I'm empty, and Early Childhood Center lets me come back. Next thing I want to mention is Vanguard. So I came up with this crazy idea for an app, and I've got this kid named Jacob Rutledge that is building this dyslexia app for me. And so love the schools. And another project we're doing with the fashion design is, so I got this weird hobby of collecting t-shirts. And so Karen, I think is her name, at the school decided that she was going to help me get rid of these t-shirts. And so I'm gonna bring her about 500 t-shirts, and she's gonna convert them into pillows so we can give to homeless people. Okay, last thing, Chuck, come on up here. So you're gonna reach in there and grab that here. It's one of the breaks. So I have a special gift just because I wanna show just how much I appreciate you and all of your staff. Just been gracious to me. I'm telling you, there have been times that I've felt like I had no idea what to do, and I found a home in a couple of places, and I just thought it was fitting that we present you with one of the bricks that I had to carry as a kid. So, last thing I want to say is I appreciate y'all, what you're doing. It matters. It matters. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Very moving. And I've heard him speak several times, and it never fails. It chokes me up, and his positivity and how he learned to love others when he did not grow up in a very loving environment. And he is sincere. There's nothing about him that has an ego or about Alton. He makes it about everybody else, and he really is just true to his mission about preaching this message that you all make a difference, and it was very evident today. So, man, what a way to start the school year. I do want to recognize some very important people here that came and made a choice today to spend their time because they support Broken Arrow Public Schools. There's several dignitaries here. I want to introduce our mayor, Mayor Deb Wimpy. Is she still here? Senator John Haste. Senator McIntosh. And Senator Gillespie. Thank you for your support of Broken Arrow Public Schools. Told you from the beginning, we're going to get out earlier. It is now just 2:17. Last year, we were pushing 2.5 hours. That's an hour and 17 minutes. So I appreciate you. Before you head out, the surprise at the end. Rocket Brothers is outside, both at the north and south exits, ready to serve you a free iced tea as a thank you for all you do. And if you need BA Spirit wear, Tiger Threads, our official spirit store, is located right outside these doors to my left. As a Broken Arrow employee, you will receive a 15% discount. This year, let's share our story, and always remember, NBA, the best is yet to come.